Let's talk about money in the farthest frontier and especially how you make money in the early to mid game, because this is where a lot of people are struggling. Yes, I know I will leave out a few things here, but the reason for that is that's mostly late mid game to end game, where most people have already figured out how to make money, and that doesn't really help them. Like, let's say, a gold mine. Not everyone has a gold mine on their map. I will be completely honest. I don't even know if I have a gold mine here. And the second one is a pub. You can actually sell beer for money, right? And then make quite a bit out of it. The problem is that is coming so much later, and you have to do so much that doesn't really help people. Another thing is that you can upgrade your trading post and you will get more merchants visiting you, but A, that's also very late in the game, and B, it's only two more specialized merchants, and that doesn't really matter to make more money necessarily for you, especially as I said, in the early to mid game is what we are focusing on here. So, with that said, let's talk about money. And the first thing I want to talk about is actually not how to make money, but how to spend money. Because I see a lot of people building quite a bit of buildings which are, well, costing money. One of them is the healer's house. The healer's house is amazing and is definitely one of the must have buildings in the early game to survive the farthest frontier. Problem is, it costs 25 gold per month, and that's quite a bit. If you also have a few lookout towers, which cost 5 gold each, you are running into a money issue very quickly. So the question is, what are you doing about it? Well, the answer, you've probably already seen this, is deactivate it. Deactivate it when you don't need the building, because it will then not cost you any money. And the good thing is, with the healer's house, you don't really need that till somebody is sick, because they are relatively quick, even if you are just activating it. And yes, I know it gives a boost to desirability around them when you have the healer's house going, right? But it's only a small buff, and it's not worth the 25 gold per month. So definitely make sure that you deactivate the buildings you have active. If you want to know how much you spend, just go over the monthly gold report here in the corner, and then you see for yourself what you are spending on a monthly time, or if it was a one-time only thing. So this is really helpful to get an overview about what the heck is actually going on here. But now let's talk about how to make money. And there is the passive income and there's the active income. So let's talk about the passive income, which is mostly taxes and where you don't have to do much besides of, well, wait for a month and then you get the money. And the first thing you should do is build a market. You can see the vicinity here of the market, right? And more importantly, when you have built a market, you should also put 2 points into taxation, because this will generate tax per home within range of the markets. You definitely want that. So put 2 points in here, and then you will actually start to generate money whenever you put a market down and you have homes in the circle. Now, before you were going crazy and think, wait a minute, if I'm just putting down a lot of markets in the vicinity, I can make tons of gold. Yeah, hold your horses. Again, that's not working, unfortunately. You can see right here, I have 2 markets where the vicinity is overlapping, right? And you can see that this market is only covering those houses right here, and this market, well, is only covering those houses right here. So no, you don't make double the money. Sorry, it doesn't work. And yeah, it's not what you can do. Another thing, which is also very important to note, is that houses and the people living in them will make you money. Now, when you are at the beginning of the game, you will realize very quickly that's not the case, right? A shelter will not make you any money. You can see right here, this is a shelter, and the shelter is not making me any money. You can actually see it in my monthly gold report. When houses start to make you money is when they become a homestead. That's the first upgrade, and they will generate 1 gold each. If you upgrade them again, it will be 2 gold, then 3 gold, 4 gold, and so on and so forth. You get the idea, right? So always upgrade your houses because they will generate you more money, and you should at least have the homesteads so that you have a basic income. But this is how you generate your passive income. And truth to be told, the passive income you will make is mostly at the beginning just covering your expenses when they come up and will make you a little bit of money on the side. But the true money maker is how you actively make money. And you guessed it, it's the trading post. I know some people will say, oh, Mo, I don't like to do the trading post. I just want to make money through the passive income. And I get that, but it takes far too long. Like, seriously, if you don't have a gold mine somewhere on your map and you can utilize that, the only active way on how to make money is through a trading post. So let's talk about that. When you've built the trading post, 4 merchants will start to visit you on random events. Most of the time, they will not come in the winter. I've never seen the merchant arrive in the winter, only around spring and summer. And they will only stay for a while before they are leaving. And more importantly, everything what you were doing in the trading post stays in the trading post. That means the items you store here, they're only for the trading post, right? So you have an extra inventory. The same goes for your gold. You can see my trading post gold right here, and that's different from the gold I have in my economy. So your trading post is completely disconnected from the items you use in your economy. That's very important, so you don't sell or buy things you don't have, right? So keep an eye out for that. And more importantly, if you transfer those items, you can, of course, transfer them into your economy. Like, you can move all the gold over if you want to. And the same goes with the items, right? You can just transfer them. Make sure you have enough time planned for it. I had it happen numerous times that they were transferring an item I wanted to sell to one of the merchants. And when they finally arrived, the merchant was gone. And then you had to wait again. But now the big question is, what should you sell here in the trading post? Well, as I said, there are 4 merchants coming in. We have Belda the Peddler. This is what I would call the general merchant. He is buying a lot of random stuff from you, and he's also selling a lot of things. And you will see him the most. Like, he's coming in every year or at least every second year, while the other 3 merchants, which are more specialized, are coming in at a longer interval. So you have what is it? You have the lady from the Iron Mountain. She is focusing on, well, selling you a lot of iron stuff and resources. Then you have the farmer, and the 4th one is the butcher, right? And the butcher is selling you meat, but they are buying also a lot of tools and a lot of weapons and so on and so forth. So you will have the specialized merchants coming in, and you can see what they have. And what they have is always the same. The only thing which changes, or, well, 2 things actually which change, is the relic after you have bought it, and the price will change whenever they are popping up. So look for the lowest price possible. And when you have the farmer's merchant coming in, they will sell you different animals. And that's random. And that's really important to note, because for 7 years, I'm trying to get chicken and I don't have none. Because that stupid farmer merchant is not selling me any chicken. Cows, goats, no problem. But chicken? Haven't seen none in 7 years, which is really infuriating. So whenever you see an item or an animal you really want, make sure that you buy that, right? Because you might have a chance that it will not occur for a long time. So what do you sell them? What do you buy? So the most important thing you have to look for is this. right? You see this little icon and you see this one. So when you want to buy something, you want to look for this icon because that means you have to pay less for what you buy. And if you want to sell something, you want to look for this item because, well, you guessed it, they are paying more for the item you want to buy and sell. And they can make some, especially when you sell in bulk, they can make some big differences, right? Like you can make a lot of money from it or lose a lot of money if you are not careful. Like let's say you want to buy a lot of beans and they don't cost 2 but normally 3 or 4 gold each. That's a lot of money you spend extra if you would buy, let's say, 500 beans, right? So make sure that you are always selling the items which you can sell for more and buy the items for less because, yeah, they can make a big difference. Also very important to note, the traders have all their different amount of gold with them. Yes, there is a technology you can research to increase the gold by 100%, but that also means you will sell your wares for 10% less. That's also, and you have to figure out for yourself if you want this or not. I'm not utilizing it yet, but I'm slowly getting to the point where a lot of the merchants leave with no gold left, and I still have some items I want to sell. Now, let's talk about some items I highly recommend to sell for money. One of them is actually the hide codes. You can see already that each of them is selling for 20 gold, right? And you can just produce so many of them. You can just produce so many of them. It's easy to do. The same goes for shoes, very easy to produce. And if you have that, the linen clothes, right, you can also sell them, but especially the high coats. Super easy to produce in masses, and they sell for quite a bit of money. And again, shoes is also something I normally like to sell because they're easy to make. So those are the items I always highly recommend. A thing which I also recommend not to buy is food because it's too expensive. If you really need it and your people starve and you have the gold, then of course you can do it. But as I said, like even just buying 500 of those costs me 1,000 gold and they only cost 2 each. It's super expensive and I don't really recommend it to buy food. Craft it yourself. But this is really how to make money. Like you want to produce a lot of easy to make goods and sell them. And that's how you get the active income. And that's how you make your money in the early to mid game in the Farthest Frontier. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you still have some questions, let me know down below in the comments. If you also enjoyed it, please leave a like. And if you want to see more strategy management and building games, which is what we are focusing on here on the channel, then you should subscribe because it will help me out a great deal. And it keeps you posted whenever there's a new video coming up or live stream, which is also what we are doing here. With that said, thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. Till then.